When I stepped back into Willow Ridge after 25 years, I expected silence, maybe awkward handshakes, but not my father screaming at me in front of the mourners. "You walk in here with that child and expect respect? You've disgraced this family," he roared, pointing at my son Eli, who stood frozen beside me. I hadn't seen my father, Calvin, since I was 17. The last time we spoke, he slammed the door in my face so hard the windows rattled. Returning now for my mother's funeral was the final thing I ever thought I'd have to do. I took a deep breath, placing a protective hand on Eli's shoulder. "Dad, he isn't a disgrace. He's your grandson." A ripple of whispers circled the room. My father's eyes hardened, the same cold steel I remembered from childhood. "I have no grandson born out of that shameful past you ran off with." I had prepared myself for this moment for years, practicing what I would say if I was ever forced to stand before him again. But all those rehearsed words vanished the moment his voice cracked through the funeral hall like a whip. My mother, God bless her gentle soul, had been the only one who ever treated me with softness. She used to tuck my hair behind my ear and whisper, "Lena, the world is cruel enough. Don't let this house make you hard too." But life did, and people did, especially the ones who were supposed to protect me. After the burial, neighbors watched from their porches, pretending not to stare, pretending not to know the history. Willow Ridge was the kind of town where secrets didn't stay secret. They simply got passed along like family recipes. I drove Eli to a small motel at the edge of town. His eyes were full of questions he didn't ask, and I wasn't ready to answer. He was 16 now, a good kid, bright, kind, too mature for his age. A child raised by truth, not denial. But standing in that motel room, I realized I had run from my past long enough. My mother deserved closure, and so did I. There were people here who owed me the truth. There were wounds here that needed stitching. And there was one man, one I never confronted, who destroyed my childhood and walked away untouched. That was about to change. But before I confronted the man who broke me, I had to return to the house where every nightmare began and face the secret everyone in Willow Ridge pretended not to know. The next morning, fog clung to Willow Ridge like a blanket refusing to lift. Eli was still asleep when I slipped out of the motel, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. I stood outside my childhood home, a weathered blue house with chipped shutters and a crooked mailbox. Nothing had changed, not even the cracked step I used to trip over when I was little. I pushed the gate open, its rusted hinges groaning exactly the way I remembered. Every part of this place felt frozen in time, as if my absence didn't matter. Maybe it never did. Inside, the living room smelled like old coffee and dust. Family portraits still lined the walls, but one was missing. The one of me at 14. I figured my father had thrown it out long ago. I almost turned back, but then I saw her notebook. My mother always kept a small notebook under the lamp beside her recliner, where she wrote recipes, grocery lists, and sometimes little notes to herself. This one was open, with her handwriting sprawled across the last page she ever wrote. "Lena deserves the truth. If something happens to me, she must know. I couldn't protect her, but I can guide her." My throat tightened. There was a folded paper tucked behind the page, a letter addressed to me. My hands shook. As I opened it, "Lena, what happened to you was not your fault. I saw the signs too late. I tried to warn your father, but he refused to listen. He trusted the wrong man, his cousin Samuel, more than he trusted his own daughter. Forgive yourself, my child. The past is not yours to carry alone." Samuel. The name hit me like a blow. I hadn't said that name in 25 years. I had pushed it so deep inside me that I pretended it never existed. But hearing it again, written in my mother's delicate handwriting, brought everything back. The fear, the shame, the confusion of a girl who didn't know how to fight an adult who was supposed to be family. My mother knew. She always knew. And she tried to protect me when no one else would. I folded the letter carefully and slipped it into my coat. My father didn't come downstairs, and part of me was glad. I wasn't ready to face his denial. Not yet. What mattered now was Samuel. I needed to know where he was. I needed to finish what should have been finished decades ago. As I stepped outside, a voice called behind me, "Lena!" I turned to see someone I never expected to run into, someone who knew more about Samuel than anyone else in this town. And when she stepped toward me, breathless and trembling, the first words out of her mouth changed everything. It was Harper Mills, my childhood neighbor, once my closest friend before life split us in different directions. She looked older, tired around the eyes, but still carried that same cautious softness I remembered. "Lena, I hoped I'd see you," she whispered, stepping closer. "I went to the funeral, but with everything happening, I didn't know what to say." I nodded. Words weren't easy for either of us right now. Harper wrung her hands nervously, glancing at the house as if afraid someone might be watching. "I need to talk to you. It's about Samuel." My stomach dropped. "What about him?" She swallowed hard. "He's back in town." The world seemed to tilt under my feet. For 25 years, I had prayed I would never hear that. I took a slow, deep breath, steadying myself. "I thought he left for good." "He did, but he returned last winter. His mother's health is failing. He's staying with her by the old river road." The mention of that road scraped against old memories like sandpaper. "And that's not all," Harper hesitated, her voice trembling. "People talk. You know how this town is. Some say he's been helping out at the youth center on Maple Street." The youth center, where Eli wanted to volunteer, where dozens of kids came and went every week. Cold anger pricked through my skin. Who would let him work around teenagers? Harper looked down. "People don't know the truth, Lena. No one ever told them. Your father shut everything down back then. He told the town you ran away with a boy. He made Samuel look innocent." My breath caught. All those years, I thought silence was protection, but really it had been a shield for the wrong person. Harper wiped her eyes. "I should have spoken up when we were kids. I knew something was wrong. I saw how scared you were around him, but I was 12. I didn't understand." I touched her arm gently. "You were a child, Harper. None of this was your fault." "No," she whispered, shaking her head, "but I can help now." Her voice steadied, and she looked at me with a determination I hadn't seen since we were girls climbing the apple tree behind her house. She said, "I know where Samuel goes every morning. If you want answers, I'll take you." For the first time since arriving in Willow Ridge, I felt something other than fear. Purpose. My mother's letter, my father's lies, the years of running, they all led to this moment. I nodded. "Tomorrow, at sunrise." Harper squeezed my hand, then hurried down the sidewalk before anyone noticed her talking to me.
I stood alone in the driveway, the weight of the past heavy, but my resolve heavier. Tomorrow, the truth would finally come face to face with me. But at sunrise, when Harper came to pick me up, someone else was waiting too. Someone who had no intention of letting the past be exposed.
The next morning, some light crept across the cracked motel curtains when a soft knock echoed on my door. I expected Harper, quiet, anxious, keeping her head down. Instead, when I opened the door, I froze. My father stood there. Calvin Brewer looked smaller than I remembered, not in height, but in spirit. His shoulders slumped, his skin grayer, and his eyes tired as if he hadn't slept in years. He held his hat in both hands like a man standing at a judge's bench. "Lena," he said quietly. No roaring, no anger, just my name, spoken with a weight I didn't know how to carry. Before I could respond, Harper's car pulled up behind him. She stepped out quickly, eyes widening. "Mr. Brewer, He lifted a hand to silence her. "I know where you two were heading, and I can't let you go without saying something first." I crossed my arms over my chest, bracing for the excuses, the denial, the blame. But he surprised me. "I was wrong," he said, voice trembling, "about everything." Harper and I exchanged a glance. "I read your mother's letter, found it after you left the cemetery yesterday. She'd hidden more notes in her sewing cabinet, things she never had the courage to tell me while she was alive." He looked down, shame carving deep lines into his face. I didn't listen when I should have. I chose pride over my own daughter. Silence wrapped around us, heavy, but not suffocating like before. I waited. I needed to hear the rest. "Samuel, he told me lies, made you look like some wild teen chasing attention, and His voice cracked. "God forgive me, I believed him." A lifetime of pain pulsed under my skin, 1,000 nights of wanting to hear those words, and yet they didn't magically fix anything. "Dad," I finally said, voice steady, "the truth doesn't disappear just because we don't talk about it." He nodded, eyes shining with unshed tears. "I know, and I know I don't deserve forgiveness." He swallowed hard. "But I don't want you facing him alone. Not now. Not after everything." I stepped back, stunned. My father, who once locked every truth behind slammed doors, was now offering to stand beside me. Harper came to my side. "Lena, it might help. Samuel won't expect him to show up." I breathed in slowly, feeling the weight of a decision pressing against my chest. Facing Samuel was something I had waited decades for, but part of me knew this confrontation wasn't just about me anymore. It was about every lie, every silence, every moment stolen. I looked at my father. "Fine," I said softly, "but this time, we do it on my terms." He nodded firmly. "Your terms, always." We climbed into Harper's car, the three of us carrying years of pain in one small vehicle. The engine hummed to life. The road ahead stretched long, winding toward the river where Samuel stayed. And for the first time, I wasn't running from the past. I was driving straight towards it. But as we neared the old river house, a single figure stepped onto the porch, waiting for us, as if he knew this day was coming all along. Harper slowed the car as the old river house came into view, its peeling white paint, sagging porch, and the wide gray river crawling behind it like a quiet witness. But none of that mattered. What mattered was the man standing on the porch, Samuel. He leaned against a wooden post, arms crossed, as if we were visitors he was expecting. as if the past hadn't been rotting under this very roof for decades. My father stiffened beside me, jaw tight. Harper's fingers trembled on the steering wheel, but I felt strangely calm, like all the fear had burned itself out during the last 25 years. Harper parked, and I stepped out first. Samuel's eyes followed me, dark, unreadable, calculating, just like they used to. "Well," he said, a slow smirk forming, "look who came home." The sound of his voice, the same voice from my childhood, sent a cold shiver down my spine. But it didn't break me. Not anymore. I held my ground. "We need to talk." "Talk?" he chuckled. "You ran off and built your own story. What else is left to say?" My father stepped forward. "Samuel, enough. We know what happened." Samuel tilted his head with a mocking laugh. "We? You? Don't pretend you suddenly grew a conscience, Calvin. You're 30 years too late." Dad flinched. For once, Samuel's words hit the right target. I took a slow breath. "This isn't about the past you twisted. It's about the truth you buried." His jaw stiffened, the smirk fading. "Careful, Lena." "No," I said, voice rising. "You were the adult. You were the one who knew better, and yet everyone protected you while I carried the weight alone." Samuel looked away for a moment, and I saw it. A crack? A flicker of guilt? Fear? Or just annoyance that the story wasn't under his control anymore? "You can't change what people believe," he muttered. "That's their problem." "No," I whispered. "It was yours, and it ends today." I pulled the letter from my pocket, my mother's handwriting trembling across the page, even in ink. I handed it to my father. He read the lines aloud, his voice shaking. Samuel's face drained of color. "That's not. She misunderstood." "She saw what she saw," Dad snapped. "She knew, and I should have listened." For the first time, Samuel had no smirk, no excuses. He looked cornered by truth, by age, by a town no longer willing to look away. Harper stood behind me, silent but steady. I stepped closer, my voice quiet but sharp enough to cut through decades. "I'm not here for revenge. I'm here so you never hide behind silence again. From today on, you don't get to rewrite my story." Samuel swallowed hard. "And what do you want now?" "Closure," I said. "Nothing more, nothing less." He looked at me, really looked, and for the first time, he nodded. Just once, a silent admission he could no longer escape. I turned away. I didn't need to see more. My father placed a trembling hand on my shoulder, a gesture 25 years overdue. As we walked back to the car, the past didn't feel like a prison anymore. It felt finished. But little did I know, the truth we uncovered that morning would ripple through Willow Ridge, revealing secrets far beyond my own, and forcing the entire town to face what it had ignored for decades.